Same.
Yeah.
Why, Prabhu?
Everybody should know.
Yeah, everybody should know how embarrassing. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please, very happy to welcome you to Srimad Bhagavatam. On Wednesday morning, if you are expecting someone else, please forgive me to let you know that I will be the one. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanar Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari He Govinda He Gopal Keshava Madhava Dinadaya 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 Deen Dayal Prabhu Deen Dayal Deen Dayal Prabhu Param Dayal Deen Dayal Prabhu Deen Dayal Deen Dayal Prabhu Param Dayal Shyam Sundar Kanayala Girivaradhari Nanda Dula Shyam Sundar कन्हैयालाल गिरवर तारी नंद दुलाल नंद दुलाल प्रभु 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 नंद दुलाल हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ श्री राधे जय निताय पतित पावन गौर हरे जय निताय पतित पावन गौर हरे जय नित्यानंद राम नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद जय एक चक्रधाम जय एक चक्रधाम जय एक चक्रधाम जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि गाय गौर सदानाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल गौड़ी वैष्णव वृंद की जय नाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 4, chapter number 12, verse number 22. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपास्तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दन्तारिणं परमानन्दं माधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। हरिर्नाम एव केवलं कलौ नास्त्येव गतिरन्यथा। तं कृष्णपादाभिनिविष्टचेतसां तं कृष्णपादाभिनिविष्टचेतसम् तं कृष्णपादाभिनिविष्टचेतसम् तं कृष्णपादाभिनिविष्टचेतसम् बद्धाञ्जलिं प्राश्रय नर्मकन्धरम् बद्धाञ्जलिं प्राश्रय नर्मकन्धरम् बद्धाञ्जलिं प्रश्रय नर्मकन्धरम् सुनन्दनन्दा उपसृत्य संस्मितम् सुनन्दनन्दा उपसृत्य संस्मितम् प्रयुज्य तु पुष्करनाभसम्मतौ प्रयुज्यतो पुष्करनाभसम्मतौ प्रयुज्यतु प्रयु प्रत्युज्यतु प्रत्युज्यतु पुष्करनाभसम्मतौ प्रत्युज्यतु प्रत्युच्यतु पुष्करनाभसम्मतौ। Anyone? तं कृष्णपादाभिनिविष्टचेतसम् बद्धाञ्जलिं प्रश्रयनर्मकन्धरम् सुनन्दनन्दावुपसृत्य संस्मितम् प्रत्युच्यतो पुष्करनाभसम्मतौ तं कृष्णपादाभिनिविष्टचेतसम् बद्धाञ्जलिं प्रश्रयनर्मकन्धरम् सुनन्दनन्दावुपसृत्य संस्मितम् सस्मितम् प्रत्युच्यतो पुष्करनाभसम्मतौ word for word tam him Krishna of Lord Krishna pada of the lotus feet abhinivishta absorbed in thought chetasam whose heart Baddhanjalim with folded hands prashraya very humbly namra bowed kandharam whose neck sunanda sunand nandau and nanda upashritya approaching sasnitam smilingly pratyuchato addressed pushkaranabha of Lord Vishnu who has a lotus navel sammatau confidential servants translation and promote by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Dhruva Maharaj was always absorbed in thinking of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. His heart was full with Krishna. When the two confidential servants of Supreme Lord, who were named Nanda and Sunanda, approached him, smiling happily, Dhruva stood with folded hands, bowing humbly. They then addressed him as follows. Again, read the translation one more time. Dhruva Maharaj was always absorbed in thinking of lotus feet of Lord Krishna. His heart was full with Krishna. When the two confidential servants of the Supreme Lord, who were named Nand and Sunand, approached him smiling happily, Dhruva stood with folded hands, bowing humbly. They then addressed him as follows. Purport. In this verse, the word Pushkaranabha Sammato is significant. Krishna or Lord Vishnu is known for his lotus eyes, lotus navel, lotus feet, and lotus palms. Here he is called Pushkaranab, which means the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has lotus navel. And Sammatau means two confidential or very obedient servants. The materialistic way of life differs from the spiritual way of life in that one is disobedience and the other is obedience to the will of the Supreme Lord. All living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and they are supposed to be always agreeable to the order of the Supreme Person, that is perfect oneness. In the Vaikuntha world, all the living entities are in oneness with the Supreme Godhead. Because they never defy his orders. Here in the material world, however, they are not sammata, agreeable, but always asammata, disagreeable. This human form of life is a chance to be trained to be agreeable to the orders of the Supreme Lord. To bring about this training in the society is the mission of the Krishna consciousness movement. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the laws of material nature are very strict. No one can overcome these stringent laws of material nature. But one who becomes a surrendered soul and agrees to the order of this Supreme Lord can easily overcome those stringent laws. The example of Dhruva Maharaj is very fitting. Simply by becoming agreeable to the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and by developing love of Godhead, Dhruv got the chance to personally meet the confidential servants of the Lord Vishnu face to face. What was possible for Dhruva Maharaj is possible for everyone. I repeat, what was possible for Dhruva Maharaj is possible for everyone. Anyone who very seriously engages in devotional service can obtain in due course of time the same perfection of the human form of life. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yen Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I seek blessings from everyone gathered together, online as well as in person. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you all being here. I have absolutely no qualification or realization to be sitting here and discussing, sharing Srimad Bhagavatam, but as a matter of duty and service, trying to do this very difficult task for me actually. Again, seek blessings from all of you. Thank you for being here. Here, I was reading this verse for the first time, and earlier when we were discussing, Dhruv Maharaj was chanting when he was doing the austerity, he was chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That was somewhat, to my limited understanding, it was, I felt by chanting that mantra, Lord Vishnu came to give him the audience, or Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him. But here in this shloka, the first few words has Tam Krishna Pada Bhinivishta Chetasna. So in his Chetana, in his mind, in his heart, he was always having Lord Krishna's lotus feet, or he was meditating on Lord Krishna. So just to resolve that, I was thinking how it was Lord Vishnu and how he is having the, thinking of Bhagavan Krishna, just for like my understanding purpose, I was just thinking about it. And His Grace Nikunj Bihari Prabhu was there, and I said, Prabhu, how can you please share your point of view? So he said, yes, the understanding is that even though there is no difference between Krishna and Bhagavan Vishnu, Bhagavan Krishna, Bhagavan Vishnu, but for the Narad Muni, for that current understanding or current situation, at that time, Narad Muni suggested as an expert, Guru, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and by doing so, Lord Vishnu appeared, and in that encounter, what Dhruv Maharaj is asking for is the service to the Lord with his associate associates and the devotees, loving devotees. Um, and by doing that service for next 36,000 years, he developed this desire, or in his heart of his heart, that he became Krishna's lotus feet. He is worshipping or he is meditating upon. That's how I was like Prabhuji was explaining that Krishna's lotus feet, how he was meditating, or how that this verse is how it's shared like that. So Srila Prabhupada here in the shloka, in the purport, the first sentence he's making is that, um, Pushkaranava Sammato, that in the spiritual world, everything is for the pleasure, or everyone is agreeable to the one fact that everything should be for the pleasure of the Bhagavan. And completely opposite to that, in the material world, no one agrees that that is the goal of life, is to please the Lord, please Bhagavan. And he gives this nice example also, that you know the in the material world, no one is agreeable, but always asammata, disagreeable. So this human form of life, is the next sentence is chance to be trained to be agreeable to the orders of the Supreme Lord. And Krishna consciousness movement, Hare Krishna movement, Hare Krishna, by by propagating the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We are saying, we are sharing our good fortune with everyone else. That how we become agreeable to the will of the Lord, will of the Supreme. How we be agreeable to what is most uh, most beneficial to us. I was listening to the one of the classes earlier by Srila Prabhupada. He was saying this material world is actually exist as a challenge to God, challenge to Krishna. Because why it is a challenge? Because in this material world, we are proclaiming that we can enjoy and be happy without Krishna. We try to, we are trying to do that. This is made for just for that purpose, that we don't need God. God doesn't exist. Everything I can do by myself, and and God is just, a non-entity. That is the main basis of this material world. And to prove that wrong, of course, Krishna makes it happen as a form of, you know, in the form of time, eternal time. He manifests things and things recycle. But while we are in this temporary situation, we, as rebellious individuals, we claim that God doesn't exist and everything happens because of my own personal endeavors. That is completely foolish to think like that, because all the ingredients that is necessary for us to live is provided to us free of cost by the Lord, by the arrangement of Krishna, by the arrangement of Bhagavan Krishna. And individuals would ignore that simple fact and continue to say what? That this just came about just like that. There is no origin, there is no controller. everything happens for everything just big bang and it just happens. There is no real reason they can come up with, but still they don't want to accept even the concept of intelligent design, that we are not able to understand, but there is something more, um, something that is more intelligent is governing this. That concept is also not accepted, especially in the so-called secular curriculum in the schools, that you know, that we cannot talk about God. G word is completely prohibited. Even though on the currency of American currency, it says, "In God we trust." In you know, we 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 claim to be a God conscious or God fearing country, but state or education and spirituality is always is always kept separately. On the contrary, Srila Prabhupada's proposal of real secularism is that whoever wants to understand the spiritual path, any spiritual path, the state or the government or the educational institution should facilitate their pursuit. Because without understanding the spiritual aspect of life, you we cannot make advancement. It is a fake advancement. If the spirituality is um, is highlighted as a goal of life, then other material things that people are hankering so much is not going to be uh, considered as a priority. If the priority of the life becomes to come out of birth, death, old age, and disease cycle, Prabhupada was sharing, if if you take that as a goal of life, other things are not going to be so important, like the material advancement, buying the most expensive car or most expensive phone or any other thing, most expensive home, or we will never be able, we will, individual will not compare with anything else, because the goal is to cultivate spirituality. How to really get out of this cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease, how to really, do activities or lead our life with that goal in mind. If one is living and that is established, then it doesn't matter which path you are following, because at the end of the day, every religion, they all agree that this is not our permanent place. This, we are supposed to be reformed, improved, qualified, whatever the name that you want to use, but this is not our permanent place. Permanent place is beyond this material realm. Some call it heaven, some call it spiritual world, some call it whatever the name you want to give. According to, the detailed understanding of Vedic scriptures, there is hell, there is heaven, and there is spiritual world. But each or all of the theologies or scriptures, they agree to this fact. And here Prabhupada is very emphatically proclaiming that what Dhruv Maharaj has achieved is achievable by each and every one of us. Each and every one of us can be face to face with, so the parshad or the associates of the Supreme Lord. Here the names are Nand and Sunand, or Sunand and Nand. They came to bring Dhruv Maharaj to spiritual world. This is this is really assuring that spiritual life is not pie in the sky. What happens if you follow the process? What is the outcome that is expected? Even though, while being in this material world, not having complete faith in the process, if you start processing, if you start following, the process, not processing. If you start following the process, we are given the glimpse and understanding by these kind of incidents or encounters of spiritual life, that this is what is in store for us in future. And what to speak of being, we are so fortunate, not just with austerity and being face to face with the Lord's associate. uh, that's not the goal, or that's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to be having the consciousness that we want to serve Krishna and his devotees always. If we are doing that, we are actually in spiritual world. We are already doing what we would do in our spiritual form, which is serving Krishna and Krishna's devotees. So, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy and the Guru Parampara's mercy and the latest embodiment of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Srila Prabhupada, bringing this culture of Krishna Bhakti to America and giving us the opportunity to access that, access this process, that we cannot, it's just not the coming out of birth, death, old age and disease. It becomes just a side product or byproduct of that. We actually cultivate the love for God, where we don't really need to die to achieve something. While being in this material world, while being in this material body, one becomes in sync with Krishna's desires or devotee's desires. That is the summum bonum of spiritual life. That is the culmination or the ultimate reality that we all can achieve. So the even in our conditioned state, material state, when are we are feeling so far away from having that pure consciousness. But even for a second, when we are looking at the Archa Vigraha forms of Radha Gopi Janavallabh, Nitai Patita Pavan Gaurahari, if we can pray, if we can go in front of them and say, please give me the intelligence and give me the willpower to continue this process more sincerely, seriously, then Krishna will arrange that. Krishna will help us